What's it?
Don't worry about it. We'll fix it up. Don't worry.
I can put it here if you want.
Thanks.
Good morning, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for our team announcement ahead of our game against Benetton. We've got our Director of Rugby, Mr. Jake White. We'll then just take questions. I don't see any hands. Ashfaq?
Hi, good morning, guys. Jake, you've got Emrose Papier back in the starting lineup, but no Harold Foster.
Yep, Harold Foster tested positive, Ashfaq. So he'll be out for this weekend, hopefully be back by next week.
And just on Emrose's return, I know you were quite concerned the last time you spoke about him and his concussion. How's he doing at the moment?
Yeah, he's doing well, actually. I mean, I think the fact that we didn't play last week either helps. He had another extra time to recover and get up, up to speed with all his protocols. So, yeah, probably was a little bit of blessing for us that we didn't have to play against the Sharks last week, because I think he probably would have played in that game. And as it stands now, he's got an extra week to actually make sure he was ready for this game.
Any other questions?
Jake, the obvious question is, what do you expect from the opposition? I mean, both teams are vastly different from the last time you met. And obviously this time you got home ground advantage.
Yeah, Jan, I suppose, what am I expecting? Look, I'm definitely not expecting that we're going to get caught the same way we got caught last time. And that's because we can control that, I think 11 or 12 of those guys played for the Italian national team against Wales and beat Wales in Wales. So, they would obviously show you that they've also improved. I mean, there's no ways that you can get 11 or 12 guys from one club side, go on and beat an international side like Wales in Wales without knowing what you're doing. So I'm expecting a good game. Yeah, I mean, it's I think there's a little bit of an edge to what we're getting this week, because we probably got found out a little bit against them last time. They played a bit differently to the way they played in the rest of the competition. And they showed that they can play. I mean, they ran the ball and they could play with their forwards and their backs. So, I'm hoping that tomorrow, we'll be aware of the threats they give us. But I suppose the most important thing, Jan, is we've got to concentrate on what we've got to do. We've got 3 more games left in this comp before the playoffs, and we can still control our own destiny in terms of where we want to end up.
What aspects of your personal game will you focus on most?
I suppose just building on where we've been playing. Jan, I think we've played quite well. You've got a lot of combination between backs and forwards. Our continuity has been quite good. Our attack's been quite good. I thought as I said, generally have been quite good. There are times and areas of certain games where we haven't got it to perfection. My message to the boys this week was, you got to play your best rugby at the back end of a competition. If you play your best rugby in the last 3 games of the comp, and it happens to be the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, then you've progressed the way you want to progress. You don't want to play all your best rugby in the beginning and not make the playoffs. So, we've been growing. We've developed a lot in all aspects of our game. I don't think, as I said, we're not where we want to be yet. But I suppose from tomorrow, what I'd be looking for is that in all the areas we've been working hard on, that there's a continual improvement.
Kobus, I saw you had your hand up earlier, but you put it down. I'm not sure if you have a question.
Yeah, thanks. Jan did ask part of a question I wanted to ask. Jake, just on Dylan Smith, you must be, obviously he's a tight head. He played loose head for the Lions. You must be looking forward to see what he can offer the team at.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Kobus, but he played tight head for the Lions too. So, I mean, we're looking forward. He's come back from a good season in Europe. He's a very strong boy. He's 28 years old. He's bright. I think he understands what's needed in terms of his role. And it gives us a great chance. We saw the sort of return on investment we got from Jacques van Rooyen going to that position. And, you know, let's hope that the transition, not of going to tight head, but of going back to tight head where he has played before, will be a good one for us as well. You know, we've got lots of loose heads. We've got Lizo, we've got Jan Hendrik who can still play loose head, and obviously the 2 players who are playing tomorrow. So, you know, it's a situation and opportunity for him to see how he fits into our group.
Ashfaq and then Kanyiso.
Jake Cornell at 12, he's probably a different player to Harold, who's very direct, but Cornell's got the footwork and the old winger's speed. Do you think he can bring something different?
Yeah, Ashfaq, you know, to be fair, you know, when he played before Harold arrived, he was the talk of the town. You know, he was the guy, the incumbent sort of guy in South Africa that was playing his best rugby at 12. You know, and he, you know, he showed that he can. He's very capable of playing there. You know, it's. I think he can also be direct. I think he's also big and strong. He can do a role there for us as well. But you know, it's like anything. If you don't have Harold, you got to rely on the next guy. And you know, I'm sure having him played there for a while, and having done well for the Bulls, and having played with a guy like Chris Smith at 10 or Morné Smith at 10, you know, that's a combination that has had lots of game time. So yeah, I'm not worried that he'll even though he might be different, he's going to bring a different strength, and the strength he's got, you know, for tomorrow might be the kind of team, you know, kind of style we want to play.
Kanyiso.
Thank you very much, Komani. Good morning, Jake. I hope all is well. You mentioned playing your best rugby towards the back end of the tournament, and it's something that you spoke about well when you were coaching the Brumbies, coaching the Springboks, even coaching the Sharks. How do you now keep the players focused mentally to ensure that they deliver at this particular time? Because as you rightly said, that whatever you've done before then matters little if you don't deliver at this crucial stage of the tournament.
Yeah, Kanyiso, I suppose the answer to that is you just learn from experience. You know, you learn from where I've been, what I've done, what works, what to say, what not to say. You know, and I suppose that, again, is the art of coaching. Some coaches would do it a certain way. You know, I'm not going to tell you how we go about it, but it's important that the players feel comfortable and understand, you know, what they need to do, and then get out there and do it. You know, it's, as I said, there's 3 games, big games. Everyone's got big games. And I'm reading a lot about some teams have, you know, got easier pathways, and other teams have got, well, beginning of the season, we were, you know, no one was winning games, South African side. So we mustn't take for granted that you're just going to run out and win games. There's a lot of rugby to be played. And when you get to the playoffs, then you still got to win 3 big games to win the competition. So, you know, hopefully, you know, as I said, we'll keep chipping away at the things we've been talking about and working on, and hopefully by the back end of the competition, and hopefully we get to the last sort of game of the competition, we're playing our best rugby.
Ken.
Thanks, Komani. How's it, Jake? You mentioned the style of rugby you might want to play against Benetton. Presumably words like tempo and intensity are big parts of that, playing at Loftus in the afternoon.
Yeah, Ken, I mean, we're playing at altitude. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I heard the weather might not be that great, but still, you know, it's not going to be hailstorms and sort of you know, blistering winds, etc. If it rains, it'll still be a high altitude game. Still be a bit of a different, I suppose, environment to what Benetton are used to. And as I said, what we could do is control the things we can control, and we'd like to play quickly. You know, we'd like to use the altitude as an advantage. You know, we'd like to play the style that suited us. And what has happened in the past is, you know, we've managed to you know, even against a good side like Ulster, we scored 4 tries. So yeah, I mean, I think, as I said, it's one of those games where, you know, they play against 11 or 12 international players who've done well in Six Nations, got their tails up as well. And then the South African players who joined them, you know, guys like Carl Wegner and Irene Herbst and, you know, Els and Duvenage and, you know, Bubis Kutsia. I mean, they're good players. They can all play. So it's not like they got 12 good players and then, you know, a sort of group of no hopers. I mean, that's a really good balanced side. And they'll know what to expect in South Africa. They'll know, you know, what Loftus is like. So, you know, I suppose what we've got to do is just make sure we focus on ourselves, Ken, and play as quickly as we can, get the tempo going, get our attack going, you know, and get some confidence into our group, because obviously we play very well when we get the ball and we keep it and we show confidence.
We'll go to Ashfaq and then take two more after him.
Jack, Benetton has sort of had an up and down season, and I know they don't have that fly of Galbisi who was so good in the Rainbow Cup final, but they are a team that sort of doesn't go away. They keep chipping away at you, and you know they play with the ref and flying by the breakdowns and all those kind of things. And considering your success at Loftus now this season, bonus point victories, I guess the guys can't just expect it's going to be the same again against a team like Benetton.
No, exactly that, Ashfaq. I mean, I think you've summed it up. You know, it's not going to be easy. We know that, you know, and the one advantage we have had is we've played them before and we didn't play well. And secondly, we've watched them throughout the competition. You know, the games have been 13-11 and 18-16. And, you know, so they don't, you're right, they don't go away. They're competitive. They, you know, they have a certain style that suits them, keeps them in the game. And they've managed to keep that style going, even by having lost their fly off, you know. So, yeah, you sum it up quite well. I mean, we're not expecting that it's going to be anything but tough. But I mean, this is the back end of the competition. It's going to be tough for everybody. You know, you look at all the fixtures this weekend, you know, so many permutations now on if this team beats that team and if that team loses to that team, how the whole, literally in 3 weeks, the whole tournament can turn on its head. So, you know, I repeat myself, we just got to focus on what we need to do well. And, you know, we've trained well this week. We've had a week off last week. Boys are quite fresh. And yeah, I suppose, you know, from all the niggles that we were carrying over that sort of difficult period of time, Currie Cup and URC, you know, I'm quite confident that those little niggles are gone, and it's a great, you know, a great way to get back into the competition, knowing that the players are fresh.
Any takers for the last question? None. Thank you very much, gents. Thanks, Coach Jake, and all the best for tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Yes,
Thanks, Jake. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks, Ken. Thank you.